What's up guys, Brian here. I want to do a quick video on when you should hold your crypto, when you should sell your crypto. Should you sell right now? Should you hold? It's another beautiful day out there and we're going to be getting after it, but I want to do this video and the lighting need to be right because you need to see my eyes because I'm telling you the truth here as I see it. And if you've been following my cryptocurrency channel here for a while, then you know that I'm right more than I'm wrong. Conservative approach. I don't make ridiculous price prediction claims, all this kind of stuff. So that being said, it definitely depends person to person, your situation, if you should sell. Now in 2016, I had a decent sized position in Bitcoin and there was a period of time where it was like, man, this thing's not going anywhere and I have an opportunity to buy a bunch of this inventory and sell it online. I was making 25 to 75% profits on that. So I knew I could turn that money over, turn that money over, turn that money over. Now your opportunity might be in cars right now. It could be in real estate. It could be in a business and everything. And so it might make sense for you to take that opportunity instead of be sitting around in crypto waiting for it to go up. Now, one of the common mistakes I would say that I see, and it always depends what your cost of living are, how much money is a lot of money to you. It depends where you live, all these kind of things. But I'll see guys with, I'm just going to use $5,000 as an example. They have $5,000 in crypto, but they're spending all day, every day looking at coin market cap, looking at this and that. And it's good from like a learning perspective. You have to know where to put your time, because if you're in a situation where you do have to trade time for money, you need to put that time where it's best spent. And you don't want to end up in a situation where if you went out and worked a minimum wage job, that you would practically end up with more economic energy than if you sat around and looked at crypto charts all day and you watched YouTubers and stuff like that. So be careful of that. I've seen that a lot actually. And to some extent, there's even been periods of time where I felt like I didn't even have enough money in crypto to be looking at crypto as much as I was. And there were periods of time where I stopped looking at crypto for little chunks of time. So you get kind of burnt out on it and everything like that. And that's just kind of normal. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, what my main thing is to play the straddle. So I'm in, and if Bitcoin, if Ethereum, if Monero, if Litecoin shoots up, Dogecoin, everything shoots up, we just go to the moon absolutely right now, I'm going to be fine. If it crashes, I'm earning yield on stable coins. I'm stacking more stable coins, earning about 20% on the Binance Smart Chain and on Polygon on these DeFi platforms. So I'll obviously have economic energy that I can get back in there if I feel that the price is right and I can jump back in. So I'm fine either way. And so I'm not encumbered by stress mentally, by this crushing, pressure of, oh, is this going to go up or is this going to go down? All this kind of stuff. I'm able to clear my mind. So make sure the people that you're following, they may have a big following on YouTube. They might have a big following on TikTok. But if this is their first cycle, they haven't experienced these types of emotions, they haven't been through the ups and downs, they may or may not be a very good resource. And a lot of times to get more views, what do you have to do? You have to make absurd price predictions. That's not what we do here. I'm going to give it to you straight. My production value might not be as good, but the people that have been following me over time, if they've sort of taken that in consideration, I'm right more than I'm wrong. So I'm able to perpetuate this thing. Been in crypto since 2013. Another thing that you need to worry about, a lot of guys out there that maybe they're newer to crypto. They might be young, might be getting after it, 21, 22, 23, 24, whatever they are. But be careful if that person has never actually made any money. When I say make money, I don't mean at a job. That's like earning a paycheck, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you're trading time for money, but they've never actually made money, whether that's like buying something and then reselling that with their own capital investment. A lot of times people are subsidized. Their parents are still paying their cell phone bill, this and that. I see this all the time. I actually even had a guy that, his parents had basically paid for everything he's ever had. He's making fun of me because I was on Cricket Wireless. And one of the things that I've always done is I've jumped around different carriers. I've been on Virgin Mobile, been on Cricket Wireless, been on Metro PCS, this and that. You got to ask, well, okay, why are you doing that? Okay, well, it was a good value. I was able to jump over there, get another free phone, another free phone, another free phone. You have to look for value. I'm a hustler. That's why I did it. I'm a thug. You need to realize, like, and so if you're talking to someone who's never harnessed the burden of their own, basically like, financial success, that it's basically like their parents are paying for everything. I know that sounds stupid. It sounds silly to some of you, but I mean, I've literally seen dudes, that are in their mid 30s and their parents have always paid for their cell phone. Nobody's ever paid for my cell phone except me. I can tell you that right now. So that being said, there's a lot of people who are subsidized, whether that's by a spouse, girlfriend, parents, so on and so forth. Obviously not going to be a good source of advice. Now, going back to this crypto market right now, I still think that there's a 70% chance that we're still going to blow off a lot further, and this is going to take a lot longer to kind of like sort itself out. A few reasons for that: we have not encumbered enormous financial pressure. When crypto crashes, it will break your back, and it is very emotionally disturbing to someone who's not financially secure, financially in the right spot, mentally in the right spot. It is very, very, very rough. And I don't personally feel like we have like experienced that. Now you might feel like, oh, well, it went down a lot and it did this and that. You don't realize how much it can go down. Some of these alts can literally bleed out 98 to 99% of their value. And it's like dominoes. It's like people get worn down over time, worn down. They just get ground down. Think of a bar of soap being dripped on, dripped on, dripped on. Or I like the analogy of if you try to skip a rock. With every skip, it loses energy. With each skip, it loses energy. So you can only buy the dip so many times. You say, oh, there's all this institutional investment, there's this and that, and all this kind of stuff. There's people selling, there's people holding. There's people that are holding right now that are going to have to sell in 2 weeks, a month, whenever they're out of money, whenever their debt, needs to be paid, whatever it may be. It's more expensive to live right now. Look at used cars, look at new cars, look at real estate right now. Prices are elevated, food is more expensive, all that kind of stuff. So it becomes more expensive to live. So that being said, I think you should always be hustling, trying to earn more crypto, whether it's on the blogging platforms, Steemit, Hive, whether you're doing DeFi, whether that's you're staking UST on Terra Luna, on that setup. You're doing stuff on Polygon. You're doing stuff on the Binance Smart Chain. Always trying to add more. The Fold app, Lollipop, whatever that Lolly app. These different little things. Where you're maybe stacking some sats. You're doing this or that, and but you're not encumbering your time so much that you're wasting all your mental energy and all your time kind of like focused on it if you don't have enough economic energy. If you do have enough economic energy, when I say that, I'm just going to kind of say like maybe $50,000, that it would maybe make sense for you to like maybe invest more time. I know that may seem like a lot, and it is. And maybe your threshold's more 20,000. I mean, you might be in a country or in an area of the United States where cost of living is a lot less, and so you can get away with being able to spend more time on a $20,000 investment, kind of thing, and it's actually going to reap a reward that makes a tangible difference in your life. Like maybe if you do get to a point where you're able to make $50 a day or make $80 a day on whatever you're doing in crypto, that actually might kind of cover your expenses, and if you're keeping stuff low and stuff like that. So obviously it's going to be different for everybody. Threshold's going to be different, and what you perceive to be a lot of money may be totally different. Understand this, because I get a lot of people, oh, wait, are you rich? I've been rich for a long time, and this isn't anything to do with any kind of monetary value. I control my own time. If you control your own time, then and you're able to go wherever you want, whenever you want, you're rich. You need to really kind of understand that as a value proposition, completely unrelated to any dollar value or any amount of crypto or this or that. Because think about it. What are people going for in retirement? They're working for 30, 40 years to be granted the ability to control their own time and go wherever they want. Oh, when I retire, I'm going to go on these trips. I'm going to do that, this and that. I already do that now, and it's not that I'm like necessarily spending so much money, or it's like I'm lavishly like, again, like I just said with the cell phone example, I've been on Cricket Wireless, I've been on Virgin Mobile, I've been on Metro PCS, because I'm thug. You got to be thug. You got to be like, you got to be a grinder. You got to be a hustler. You have to look for opportunities. So keep in mind when you're listening to advice from people, is their main thing that they're trying to sell you is they're trying to garner eyeballs, and they're trying to, it's more of an attention related thing where they're able to get you to click on an affiliate link. A lot of times I don't have affiliate links down in the description section, or I forget, even when I'm saying like, oh yeah, I like this service or something like that, I'll forget to put a affiliate link, or I won't even have one, because that's not my main focus. And a lot of times, sometimes it doesn't even make sense for me to make videos kind of on this channel. But that being said, whatever. We'll keep it going. Sometimes I feel like I have something monumental to say, so I'll say something. And this is going to be the most controversial thing I say in this video. You have to look at people who are more risk adverse, but not too risk adverse. And I know that's a very, 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 very tough thing to sort of lock down, but think about this. In investments and in business, has it ever made sense to listen to your parents? And it may. You might be a person out there that maybe your parents have had like great success in investing, and they have some nugget of wisdom, and that's great. But usually for like crypto, for instance, it's moving fast enough that kind of like let's say your parents' generation, they're probably too old, or these returns seem too ridiculous, or this seems too it seems too far out there what this is. They can't wrap their head around it per se, so they're sort of behind on this kind of like newer technology. You're not going to ask your parents like, hey, how do I go viral on TikTok? You're not going to ask them that, because they're probably not technical enough that they kind of figured it out, and it doesn't interest them, and they sort of don't understand what's kind of happening. It's sort of coming out of left field. And your parents are going to be less risk adverse than you are, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s. Now, this is a defense mechanism. This can actually kind of help them preserve, kind of their time and their energy that they spent, building up their empire and what they have. And in the same way, if you look at someone who's younger, they're more willing to do something crazy, maybe to impress a girl. They're going to jump off a cliff. They're going to, they're going to do something more dangerous. Usually people sort of become less risk adverse over time. You're usually not going to have people, let's say in their 50s, 60s, 70s, trying to jump off, a cliff that's maybe as big as some cliff they jumped off when they were 20 or something, into some kind of reservoir or something like that. You're typically not going to have that. They're not going to drive as fast. They're not going to, typically. That's not always the case. There are some different exceptions about that. And again, this is another controversial thing. This is probably going to get me some thumbs down. And again, I don't mean every woman, but women are less risk adverse than men. Now, this protects them. Usually they're not going to be homeless, but they're usually not going to become multimillionaires or billionaires, because they're not willing to sort of take on that risk. They kind of play this middle ground, and they seek safety. For every 10 guys who are very risk adverse, they're willing to jump off cliffs, they're willing to take huge financial risk, you'll maybe have like one chick who's willing to do that. Now I'm going to get down to, oh, that's just, you can't be saying that. You can't be saying, it's just the truth, And like I said, you got to look at my eyes. I'm telling you the truth. This is just true. This protects them from like a lot of financial damage, a lot of physical injury of driving cars super fast, jumping off cliffs, this and that. So now how does that relate to crypto? You probably can't listen to them a lot of times. Now, there are some chicks in crypto that are, obviously they've been in the forefront and stuff like that. And there are women in this space that can harness the emotional burden of crypto crashing. Because when crypto crashes, it'll break your back, like legit break your back. And if you're not in the right kind of emotional state, you have too much stress in your life, there's other things going on, maybe you're leveraged out too much some way or another, it will really emotionally wreck a person. And for women, they feel that amplified compared to men typically, because it's scary. They don't like the conflict. They don't like this adversity. They don't like that, can't handle it as much. And again, I'm gonna get the downvotes, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about. If you guys are longtime subscribers, and even the women on here, it's no knock, but they're typically going to gravitate to safety, and crypto is not necessarily a safe strategy investment wise, according to most people kind of in the financial world that have a lot more money. It's this kind of like niche market. It's off this, yes, it's getting bigger and it's going to continue to get bigger, but with each cycle you can expect less multiples. Because think about this, if a company is investing billions of dollars, a 2x return is great, and it's very hard to double your money in any other mechanism. So they're going to be fine with 2x versus maybe you're looking for 5x or 6x. So you have to be kind of conservative in that standpoint and take profits. But again, it's going to be a timing thing, and what your emotions are telling you if you're in your first cycle or you're in your second cycle of crypto may not be actually kind of might not be sort of, you got to be risky kind of when it's obviously on the downside. You got to buy low, and then you've got to actually take profits and not be like kind of caught up in the emotions and stuff. And so what I found out, I've never actually personally met a woman who's made money in crypto. And I know that sounds insane, but that's just the truth. It's just the truth. And I haven't actually met very many guys that have actually made money in crypto. So keep that in mind. There's not really that many people making money in crypto. There's a secret. There's a secret I'm gonna let you in on. There's not that many, because people don't play these cycles out, and the big money's able to go in there and they're willing to take a lower multiple. They're the ones that make money. They're the ones that dictate the market. And so, and a lot of times the people that you hear that say that they made this and that amount of money, a lot of times it's paper gains. They never secured the bag, and they never actually come away with anything tangible. If they did, then all these crypto guys, we would have, 6,000 or 20,000 Lambos or something running around. We just don't have that. So, because a lot of times they don't secure the bag. And I can kind of see when people do secure the bag, to some extent, whether that could be trips, that could be just, like maybe it does kind of convert to a car, a property or something like that, but very, very, very few people actually make money in crypto. So remember that. Be one of the ones that make money in crypto. Follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steemit, Twitter, Hive, MySpace. See you guys.